All right, so this week you guys are talking about diversity in college and all the different opinions, viewpoints, and all kinds of different people you'll come across in a college environment. So in this PowerPoint, I'm going to go over kind of the importance of it and then how Lone Star College celebrates all of these diverse students and where you can learn more about different people, different things. So why it's important? It is important to draw wisdom from different places. If you take it only from one place, it grows rigid and stale. So this is from Uncle Iroh in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that's a very good point. Like if we only take wisdom or information from our viewpoint or our only viewpoint, we're not getting the full picture. It becomes, we grow very rigid. It's very one-sided. So it's important to learn different perspectives, different opinions, different things, so we have a very more well-rounded viewpoint and we understand more of the world. So I have a couple different categories here of how Lone Star College celebrates the differences in students and all the different people and stuff we have on campus. So we're going to start first with kind of heritage and culture. So Lone Star College celebrates a variety of different heritage months that celebrate the various members and contributions of people from these various cultures or groups of people. Excuse me. These usually bring attention to previously and or currently marginalized groups. So it's bringing focus and attention that people have, in the past, these people have generally been ignored and haven't been recognized in the past. Lone Star College holds a lot of events throughout the month that these heritage months occur. So you can learn about different perspectives, you can learn about the different cultures, if it's a cultural thing, you can meet new people and just get different perspectives. So I'm going to go over a couple of them that Lone Star College recognizes and has events for. So Black History Month. Black History Month runs from February 1st through March 1st. It celebrates and recognizes the contributions of Black and African Americans. It also focuses on the experiences of Black and African Americans, usually in the U.S., and kind of what it's like living as a Black person in the United States. There's usually a lot of different events that we have. There's some essay contests. There's a lot of different, what they call, we'll go over it later, what they call deliberative dialogues that they host, basically where someone goes and says, this is my experience, and you can learn from that kind of what it's like for them living here, different perspectives. There's a lot of recognition of recognizing the important people. So like here in this picture, this is Ruby Bridges, who broke the color barrier at school. She was one of the first people to go to an integrated school. And recognizing all these people, so you can learn about all these different amazing, cool, historical people. And like I said, there's a lot of events focusing on that. So just look at the events calendar, which I'll show you in a minute. Women's History Month runs from March 1st through March 31st. This celebrates and recognizes the contributions of women and also focuses on the experiences of women. So this is currently going on. And again, we do a lot of the similar things. We have a lot of events that focus on maybe like historical figures or people important. So like this picture here, this is Malala Yousafzai. She was living in Pakistan, I believe, and the Taliban came in and she wasn't allowed to go to school, and so she ended up being shot for it, and is a very big advocate for women's education across the world. And so Lone Star College, again, like I said, we have a lot of events. I know they're doing a talk about periods and kind of how, for women, periods, how that affects not only you financially, but and how that affects kind of everything else and what that's like for women who maybe are on the poorer end or, who can't get certain things. So again, look at the events calendar. There's a lot of different things going on. Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. This runs May 1st through May 31st to celebrate and recognize the contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islander Americans. It also focuses on their experience as well. Again, similar things to the past months. We have a lot of events where you can get different people's perspective, what it's like living in the U.S., their struggles and stuff going up. This is Michelle Yue. She's an actress. She is Malaysian, and she's an amazing actress. I definitely recommend checking out any of her movies. And she's done a lot in the film industry of trying to raise up a lot of the Asian and Pacific Islander actors. So again, Lone Star College has a lot of events throughout there where you can learn about different people, you can get different perspectives. Again, events calendar, which I will show you at the end here. Pride Month. Pride Month runs from June 1st through June 30th. It celebrates and recognizes the contributions of members of the LGBTQ plus community, and also focuses on their experiences of being LGBTQ. There's, again, a lot of similar events, a lot of like kind of, hey, here's people talking about their experiences, their stuff. I do know during Pride Month they also do kind of it's like I think they put up like a butcher paper and people write like positive messages and things on it as well. So kind of really enforcing that they're welcome here, you're welcome on campus, we want you here. So here is a picture of George Takei. He was on Star Trek. He also does a lot for the LGBTQ community, and massively pushes for a lot of support for them and legislation and all of that as well. So again, this runs June 1st through June 30th. If you want to check out any events, again, events calendar. Hispanic Heritage Month. This runs from September 15th through October 15th. It celebrates and recognizes the contributions of Hispanics and Latinos. It also focuses on their experiences. Again, similar to all the other months, they have different people come in, they can talk about their experiences. You also get to learn about different historical figures. This is Cesar Chavez. He really worked to getting people who were manual laborers in agriculture fields and on the farms, and really kind of united them and unionized them. That's the word I'm looking for, unionize them, and got better working conditions for them as well. So again, Lone Star College focuses on learning about all these different people and learning about those experiences. Again, events held throughout the month. Increasing accessibility. So some organizations and departments on campus work on increasing access for certain groups. So these groups have typically not had the same support maybe as other students in the past, or they require like maybe a little more additional support than typical students. So I'm going to go over veteran services, accommodations, and mental health resources. These are not the only ones working with accessibility, but these are the three I'm focusing on in this PowerPoint. Veteran services. So this is included for current and military members and veterans. So if you're a current military member, this includes you as well. They help their veterans with GI Bill benefits, making sure you're getting those benefits. They work with, sometimes you can get credit for prior military experience that can be transferred over. They also work with a variety of other services. I know some of them work with the VA, trying to help get you those benefits through the VA. And also just supporting their veterans, right? Like veterans have, a different experience being in the military than those of us who weren't. So, they do some counseling through the VA and other additional support to make sure that you're getting all the support you need. This website here has more information if you're interested. Accessibility services and resources. So these basically work through accommodations. So sometimes students need additional accommodations. For example, so this picture here is Echo. She's a Marvel character, but she's deaf. So for example, our deaf students, they need translators and note takers when they're in class because they need to know what's going on. So that would be an example of accommodation that these services provide. Sometimes they provide, it depends on what the student comes in with, note takers, maybe it's extra time for a test, but basically it's leveling that playing field so that way they have just as good a chance of succeeding in the class as those of us that maybe don't need these services. In order to get these services, you have to self-identify as a student with a disability. You do have to provide documentation, and you have to re-identify every year. So every year you have to go back and email them again. This website has more information about how to contact them if you do want to self-identify as a student and try and get accommodations, or if you just want more information. Mental health resources. So mental health plays a really big deal in your life, basically. And if you're struggling with some, whether it's anxiety or depression or something else, it can kind of affect your how well you're doing in school. So Lone Star College we have two different areas. So we have what we work with communities and schools. They do offer counseling. It is free. You can speak on one-on-one with the counselor, kind of go over like, hey, this is what's going on, this is affecting things, life, etc. And they can work with you to come up with some coping skills and kind of work through whatever you're going through. They do offer additional resources. So the first link there is for communities and schools. Second link is additional mental health resources that Lone Star College provides. It also lists some stuff from around the county as well, if you don't want to go through Lone Star College. Something to remember is you do not need to be experiencing a crisis to talk with a counselor. Every problem matters, no matter how small it is. So even if you're like, well, I don't think it's a big deal, it's okay. You can reach out and you can talk to them. Here are some crisis numbers. These are 24-hour numbers that if you just really need to talk to someone, you call them up and they will answer and work through with whatever you're going through. So Communities and School Crisis line there. So that is specifically for the Houston kind of area. The National Suicide and Crisis Hotline is 988. That is a call or text. So if you're like, I don't want to talk to somebody, I just want to text them, you can text that number. For LGBTQ+, there's a hotline that specifically deals with anything related to that. That is that number. For veterans, it's 988 and then you press 1. There's a trans hotline as well, and then a domestic violence hotline there. Again, all of these numbers are 24/7. You can call them at any point. And even if you're like, well, I don't think it's that big important, it matters. It matters to you, and that's all that's important. So if you're dealing with a crisis or you want someone to talk to you, please use these numbers. Civics and politics. So the other thing too of different opinions is also relating to like politics and different opinions. So these organizations usually focus on that. And what they're ideally wanting to do is bring together different opinions, different sides, and have a discussion and kind of create an understanding on both sides of like, okay, this is what I think, this is what you think, here's why. It's based on different people's experiences. Sometimes they have different discussions, and there's also a variety of events. So for civic engagement, so these focus more on, less on the political side, but more on society. So they have what they call the College Knowledge Corps. This focuses specifically on first generation college students. So first generation college students, sometimes, at least when I've talked to some of them, feel a little lost because they don't have, their parents didn't go to college, so they can't ask them like, well, now what do I do? And so sometimes they feel a little lost in the college environment. They don't know where to go or who to talk to. So this group pairs those students with students who have been in college for a bit, so that way they have a mentor and someone they can go and talk to. Deliberative dialogues. I mentioned this earlier, so this is just basically learning about different diverse views and opinions on a variety of topics. I've seen stuff from, Black Lives Matter to women's experiences. Like, I've seen it across the board of different politics and different things. And basically, you all sit down and you just kind of discuss things. Engage the election. This is a voter registration push where students make sure that other students get registered to vote, and they talk about different issues surrounding the election going on at the time. The Human Library. This is a really good one. This focuses on addressing stigma, stereotypes, and discrimination. So they'll have someone come in and give their experience of whatever that is. And you can talk to them. You can ask them questions about it. And it's an open conversation about, you can ask them anything and they'll give you responses. And again, it's to kind of break down those stereotypes and these preconceived biases and notions that we have around people. The Hunger Banquet. This is about learning about poverty and food insecurity, and shows you how important and how much food insecurity weighs on our entire life. And it's not just simply, well, I'm skipping a meal, moving on. That no, it affects so much more. There's also a variety of other things that they offer. To see more and see when events are, there's the link at the bottom there. And then we have civic and political organizations. So if you're interested more in the political side and you want to get involved with things, we have College Democrats, LULAC, which is the League of United Latin American Citizens, the Student Government Association. So the Student Government Association focuses more on basically the college campus, so Kingwood itself, if you're interested in Kingwood campus. So if you want to look kind of behind like how college is run, how it operates, that would be one for that. And then Public Achievement is working on basically doing things in and around your community as well. So clubs and organizations. This is a great way to meet new people that have similar interests. The other thing too is you can realize that maybe you disagree with them politically, but you guys like love gaming and you find that common ground. Our clubs focuses on a variety of things. Maybe they're career oriented, maybe they're culture and society focused. We have language clubs, we have a whole bunch of different clubs that focus on hobbies. So these essentially are the just for fun things. So language clubs, we have an American Sign Language Club, we have a Korean Language and Culture Club, we also have ESOL chat and orientation. So if you're interested in any of these, learning a new language, check them out. We have clubs focusing on culture and community. So we have a Black Student Union, a Latina Inspira, a Student Network, Living Truth, Gender Sexuality Alliance, the National Society of Leadership and Success, the Phi Theta Kappa Alpha Lambda Psi chapter, which is an honor society, and Student Veterans Association. We have career clubs. So these are clubs focusing on if you're like interested in a certain career. So we have Association of Computing Machinery, Be a Teacher, Respiratory Club, Dental Hygienist Association, Student Nurses Association, Student Occupational Therapy, Engineering, Math, and Physical Sciences Club. And then we have a whole bunch of just for fun, like hobbies clubs. We have gaming clubs. So like if you like I love Dark Souls. I personally do not, but if you love Dark Souls, but like there's a gaming club. If you like to read, there's a book club. If you like chess, there's a chess club. There's a gardening club. There's all kinds of music clubs. This is not even the full list. So if you're interested in any of these clubs, whether it's just like the hobby clubs, whether you're like, well, I want to get more involved in my community, anything like that, this link here has a list of all of the clubs as well as who to contact for those clubs so you can figure out when they meet and when you want to join and meet up with them. So I'm going to reiterate this point again, that it is important to draw wisdom from different places. If you take it only from one place, it grows rigid and stale. So that's all of these different things I went over, the heritage months, the political things, the organizations, and all these things are just really to allow students different opportunities to meet different people and get different perspectives and just learn about different people and really just kind of expand your viewpoint. So if you're curious about any kind of events related to any of this, this link here is the events calendar that I was talking about. If you click it, it'll bring up events for all of Lone Star College system. So just be aware when you're looking, it's not just Kingwood, it's for the entire system. But that way, too, if you're like, well, I really like this event that's at Cypher, you can go check them out. So that is all for this week.